There's no April Fool's jokes in this video. We're going to talk about some massive plans for the WWE, some massive changes for the WWE, and so much more right here on The Ango Show. It's WrestleMania week, and you know the coverage on this channel is nonstop. We're going to keep you updated. Don't forget, we do got a giveaway at 100K. If you're interested, go ahead and click subscribe. Let's just kind of jump right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, Ilya Dragunov is apparently very high on the WWE management's list. Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select has recently reported that Dragunov is not planned for a call-up at this time, but the expectation is that when he is, he will be headed to the main roster after losing the NXT title down the line, as some feel he is beyond this brand at this point. Yeah, like, look, put it this way. Dragunov is one of the best. And there's this big belief among people internally that WWE see him as like a Gunther. They plan to push him in a similar fashion. And I think that is incredible. I think Dragunov is such a hell of a talent. And obviously, it makes sense for them to view him so highly. And it's also cool to think that they would even consider pushing him like Gunther because, well, it makes a lot of sense. Their history in NXT UK was fantastic. And you know, we often talk about Chad Gable, and I do believe Chad Gable is going to get that big push after WrestleMania. I genuinely do believe it. But I think the big thing here that a lot of people need to keep in mind as well is that when we talk about Chad Gable or Sami Zayn, or who could dethrone Gunther, I think the most important thing to realize is maybe having Dragunov get called up and being the one to dethrone Gunther is the right idea. It sets this right sentiment that, like, Ilya Dragunov is truly, like, a big deal. And I like that. I think WWE has something special with this guy. Honestly, I really do. I think if you look at the NXT title picture, it's hard to even have him drop the title. And who does he drop the title to? And, you know, I like Tony D'Angelo a lot, and we'll have a prediction show for NXT. But I have to wonder if maybe Tony D'Angelo is the guy, or maybe Trick Williams. I think those are the two that really tell me like these guys could hold it down for NXT. But it's funny because I could also see Trick Williams carrying his feud over from NXT to the main roster with Carmelo Hayes. So I don't even know if Trick Williams will ever win the NXT title because of that. So who knows? But Ilya Dragunov getting called up to the main roster at some point, obviously it is inevitable. But the way that they book it, the way that they present it, I think that is the big thing. And if you're using Gunther as the model or as the example of how to do so, I think that's just awesome, in my opinion. I think that's just really awesome. So to me, that is something that I look forward to. And I don't know how you guys feel about it, but obviously you could let me know in the comments. I do want to turn our attention to a possible change to WrestleMania 40. This would be Grayson Waller and Austin Theory, A-Town Down Under, potentially being removed from the tag team championship match. I don't know. This is Dave Meltzer talking, and I don't, you know, I don't know how this is going to go down, so it's something to pay attention to. But Dave Meltzer was speaking on the Wrestling Observer Radio, and he noted that there was an upcoming meeting to decide whether or not Waller and Theory will remain in the six-pack ladder match. It's unclear why they would be pulled or who they could be replaced by. Dave Meltzer specifically says, by the way, even though Theory and Waller won, it is not necessarily that they're going to be in that match. They might be. There is an upcoming meeting where they will make a decision on that. Now, here's the thing, and I'm kind of scratching my head here. You have to logically remove them from the match. They won a tournament while they pretty much kind of got lucky in the tournament. They won a tournament to take them to this match. You have to logically remove them. Now, Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, they're heels, but they're kind of like the comedy thing. You know, at some point, they are teasing a breakup between them. What can you do here that would really, really change people's perception? Because you need to logically throw them out of the match. There's only one thing I could think of, and that would be having the Dudley Boys attack them. Obviously, WrestleMania is in Philly. The Dudley Boys reunite. I have a hard time thinking of any other alternative, right? And you have to think, why would they even be removed from the match? So if they're not removed from the match, just count this as another thing that Dave Meltzer has got wrong. I like these guys. I think they have probably they could very well be like the ones to win the titles, honestly. yeah, it just doesn't make sense to me why they would be removed. But if you're going to remove them, if that's even a thought, you have to do it in a way that is logical. And them getting their ass kicked to the point where they can't compete in the match, it is very much on par and online with the Dudley boys. And you have to remember that Bubba Ray Dudley was recently removed from the TNA roster page, so you have to wonder if that's part of it. And obviously Devon, you know, he's back. So the good thing is it could very well happen. I don't know if it will, but I think it could happen. That's the only logical thing I could think of. And I just want to say, in regards to WWE making this change, if they are making this change, why would you have them win this tournament? And, like, you know, why would you book it that way? Obviously, you're trying to accomplish this stuff with AOP, Final Testament, and the Pride. But nothing else really makes sense here. So, yeah, just kind of keep that in mind. It's something to pay attention to. Like, why would you book all of this if they're not going to be the match? I don't know. But if they're not going to be the match, do it logically. And that brings us to our final topic of today's video, ladies and gentlemen. Uncle Howdy could very well be back in the WWE. This is so exciting. You know, if you watch my channel, I'm a huge fan of this type of stuff. And, well, I watched the Bray Wyatt documentary, and it's just a fantastic piece of content. You know, Bray Wyatt, it's a pretty lengthy documentary, by the way. And Bray Wyatt, obviously one of my favorites, and just all of his characters and gimmicks. Even we could talk about booking and maybe Vince and the way Vince did things with The Fiend or whatever. But this is one of the best characters ever. And then they introduce Uncle Howdy. And when it comes out that Uncle Howdy is Bo Dallas, I mean, dude, let's just talk about how cool that is, right? Like, Bo Dallas is somebody I watched back in NXT back in the day, and then he comes up and does the main roster stuff, and he's never really given a chance. Ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the Bray Wyatt documentary, Bo Dallas, they have the signature Uncle Howdy tease with the signature Bray Wyatt run. Just so cool. Fightful Select then comes out and reports that this teaser, this is a teaser for Bo Dallas's eventual return to WWE television. As of this writing, it is unclear what the plans are for his return, but he has been under contract since 2022. I just want to say, and I genuinely mean this, Bray Wyatt, so incredible, and it's so tough to even say, hey, Bo Dallas should return, right? But you can honor Bray in such a massive way with this gimmick. And, you know, I really don't know how WWE will go about this. I don't know if it will be good or bad. But I'm such a big fan of these types of characters. You have somebody in NXT who is really good at wrestling and really strong character work, and that's Joe Gacy. And I have to wonder if maybe you do put together the Wyatt Six. And Bray is not there. But if you do a group that honors Bray, it could make a lot of sense. And I think the way to do this would be putting Eric Rowan back in WWE, obviously, if he so chooses. But if you were to do something with Alexa Bliss, and obviously she would return, you bring in Bo Dallas as Uncle Howdy, Joe Gacy joins the group. I think you could have something that works. And then obviously Braun Strowman, who was with the Wyatt family. And you do this group to honor Bray, I think it could just be a masterpiece. I don't know. That's just something I'm thinking about. And it's just, I'm happy that Bo Dallas will be back. I'm happy that Uncle Howdy will be back. I love the character. And I think it's so interesting because there's so many factions and so many things happening. Like, this will be a very massive push for whatever comes. And I like that because it falls in line with the Bray Wyatt stuff. So let me know what you guys think. Ladies and gentlemen, it's WrestleMania week. Get excited. Crazy stuff is about to go down this week.